I wanted to start off. I wanted to start off by saying congratulations on the album. This is an absolutely fantastic album, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Now, I feel that the album has the perfect title for you guys, Brotherhood. Your band is such a close band, and I was wondering if you could start off by telling us a little bit about that closeness and how the name Brotherhood came around for this album.
So, as you probably might know that I know Matt for more than 30 years right now, and I play together with our drummer, with Marcus, in an AC/DC tribute band. And I know Alex for more than 20 years, I guess. And Alex is playing together with Matt in some bands. And so we have a pretty good connection when it comes to music. But we do not spend our time on stage just together. We also spend our time off stages together. So we have some time where we hang out together and have barbecue. And we're going for some beers. And we watch some soccer together and all that stuff. So it's not really only a business thing. It's also a real friendship. And as the pandemic started, we need to get closer, because all of a sudden we were forced and not allowed to play shows, tours, festivals anymore. And so we lost a lot of money, because we need to earn some money to feed our kids and our family, and the fridge needed to be filled. So we decided to record an album, and then we came up with the idea not only recording an album, we would love to help our friends and the guys in our inner circle, and to make them help to survive the pandemic. So we entered the studio of our tour manager, and we recorded parts of the album in his studio, so he earned some money. We went to Jacob Hansen, a good friend of ours in Denmark, who already mixed some Sinner and Prima Fear albums. So he could earn some money. We asked Oliver Palotai, the keyboard player of Camelot, which lives 25 kilometers away from my hometown, and we know Camelot for a long, long time. And so we asked him if he would like to participate on the album. And then we have this long, long guest list with a lot of singers. And we know them for such a long time, and they became friends. And so we asked them if they would love to help us on that album, and if they would love to be involved. And so we did send them our songs, and they came up with their vocal lines, and some brought some new ideas into it, and we really appreciated to work with them, and it was fun. And that's why we called the album Brotherhood, because of the band and helping out all the guys in our circle of friends.
Now, I was going to ask this a little bit later on, but seeing you've touched on it now, I'll ask it now. When you were putting together the tracks, did you know who you wanted to have as a guest on each track, or how did you work that out? Who should work on each track with you?
Yeah, we have this track Refuse to Surrender, which is a really heavy and dark number, and it would not have made any sense if we would have a opera singer on that one. So we asked Dave from Benediction to put in some really die vocals. And then we have the song Last Generation, and we asked Tom Engler, because I think Tom Engler has a fantastic voice. He has, I cannot express, his voice has something really significant, and I think that this voice fits perfect to the vocals or the chorus on Last Generation. We have Bulletproof, and Eric Martinson from Eclipse sang on that one, and so we decided which guy should be part on which song, and then we did send them the parts, but we also said feel open to add anything, and Eric added some new parts on that song which we really liked, and we put it in on the album. So it was really fun to have all those guys, but we decided, so to say, on which songs they should be part of.
Was it a nice surprise when you got some of the tracks back with the vocals added to it to see what each artist had done with the track
Yeah,
themselves?
because like when we know all the guys because we know the way they are singing, we know the bands they are playing because when you're in the business for so long, like Sinner exists for 40 years right now, and Brand Fear exists for 25 years right now. So we did a lot of touring and playing festivals, and then you start meeting musicians from different bands, and then you play a festival 2 weeks later, and you have the same band on the bill, and then you share the same hotel, and you hang on the same hotel bar, and then all of a sudden you start writing on Facebook or on Instagram, and then you become friends, and then you listen to the bands more closely, and then you know exactly what kind of voice they do have, and stuff like that. And yeah, and then we've asked them if you would like to sing on that track, and if you would like to add something, and yeah, they came up with really great ideas because like I'm not a real singer, like I'm just doing most of the music parts, and Matt is doing the vocal lines and the lyrics, and sometimes I have a slight idea of a melody line, but I'm not a real singer. And then when the real pros came in and they brought a lot of stuff into some songs, and we were really surprised with the stuff they came up, and it felt really good, and it was perfect for us. And so, yeah, I only can say thank you to all the guys who were involved in making these albums real and making this album happen, and maybe a success because as far as I know, the reviews are really good and nobody expected such a strong album.
Was there one track that really surprised you how well it came up with the vocals?
No, because I was not only the guitar player this time, I was also the co-producer. So when we started to record the songs, and like you start writing the songs, then you send it to Matt, and then we started the arrangement, all the stuff. So then recorded the album, then we mixed the album, and then like right now before the release I think will be in 2 weeks. I think I've heard the songs 1,000 times, and when you know that there are a lot of good singers on the albums, you are not really surprised. Maybe the most surprising moment was when Eric came up with his ideas on Bulletproof. I think that was the most surprising thing. But right now, when you listen to the songs over and over and over again, it feels natural to you right now.
Tom, this is such an amazing thing that you've been able to put together, especially as you said it was to help people out during the pandemic while they weren't able to tour and things themselves. What was your initial thought when you first heard about the pandemic hitting? What was your initial thoughts? Because you've been in this industry for 35, 40 years. What was that first thought when you realized you weren't going to be able to do shows or tour yourself?
It was a strange feeling because like the music business is a strong economic thing in Germany. Like 1.7 million people are working in this industry, and all of a sudden most of them were out of work because our government decided that there are no shows and no festivals or happenings or anything anymore because of the pandemic. So a lot of people lost their job or changed the job. And for me, in the beginning, it was tough, but I'm also a guitar teacher, so I was able to earn some money increasing the number of students. So I was fine with that. And then when the pandemic really got longer and longer, so we had a lot of talks with other guitar musicians in Germany, and you really had the feeling that all this rock and metal community got closer, and we started to help each other. Like, I have a stop job in the studio for you. Would you like to record some drums over there? And would you like to play some keyboards over there? And I got asked if I would play some guitars on that album and that stuff. And so we started to help each other out and really try to help us and keep us through this time and survive this pretty tough time. Right now, we are allowed to play festivals again and play shows again, and I hope it will stay that way. But we do not know what will happen in September, October, if the pandemic will come back and how deadly it will be. So we need to sit and wait.
Do you think some of those relationships that were formed during that time between musicians will continue? Because we've seen that here in Australia where, like you said, there'll be different musical projects that started up during the pandemic where it'll be a drummer from this band and a guitarist from this band, and now they've continued working together. Is that something that you see will continue to happen in Germany as well?
Definitely, because I only can speak for myself, because in the pandemic, I had a friend from Switzerland and he asked me if I would do some new music together with him. And I told him, yeah, why not? I have time, so we can try something out. But I said, it doesn't have to do something with Prima Fear or Sinner, because I'm doing this kind of music already. I would like to do something totally different. And then he came up with some ideas, and I brought in some guitars, and then we go like, now we need some singers. And then we asked like 2 singers from, one was a female singer from Spain and a male singer from Sweden. And then we formed a band. And it's not like a project, it's a band. And we recorded like 10 songs already. And we're looking for a label and a booking agency and all that stuff. And then I think you will hear from us in September, October, when we will bring the band on the map. But it's not a project; it's a real band.
Yep.
And I'm really happy to get the opportunity to work with these guys. And in the beginning they were like unknown people to me, but right now it's like already friendship. Like we are doing this project for more than 1 year right now. And we are talking every day, we are phoning, we have video calls and all that stuff. And I was in Gothenburg at the singer's house and we recorded his vocals there, and we met and we stayed there for 2 weeks, and it became a friendship right now. And it's really, really cool. I love the kind of music because it's totally different what I've done before, and I really hope that we will get a deal, and I hope that the world will have a listen to the music we are doing.
Now, one of the things that really hit me when I was listening to Brotherhood was just how amazing this album would sound live. Will you guys ever look at doing, even if it's just a one-off event, where you bring all of those vocalists together to do this as a live performance?
It would be, personally, it would be a dream, but I think we have so many guest vocalists on the album that it will not be possible to make it happen, that everybody will have time on a special occasion. So maybe we can bring out 1 or 2 or maybe 3 singers when we play some festivals, but I do not think that it will be possible to bring everybody on stage. But it would be awesome if you could realize that, but I don't think that will happen. So, and I'm pretty sure if we'll have the possibility to go on tour, because right now everybody is touring and everybody is really busy, and it's pretty tough to get some venues because every venue is booked already. And as I told you before, we don't know what will happen with the pandemic, if it will come back or not, so we will have to wait and see. And we would love to go on tour and to promote the album and play a lot of new songs, because I think that it will be a lot of fun to play the new songs live.
Definitely. Now, going back to before you brought the vocalists in for this album, what kind of things were inspiring you guys when you sat down to write these tracks? Because there seems to be a harder and heavier sound than ever on this album. So what kind of things were inspiring you when you sat down to first write these tracks before the vocals came on board?
So I met Matt, or we had a meeting in his house, and we sat in his kitchen and we had a coffee, and then we started discussing a new Sinner album. And we said, okay, we did sometime we have a day where we have some blue stuff on it, and with like Celtic inspirations and Thin Lizzy vibes in that stuff, and then we did Tequila Suicide, and so we said, maybe it's time to go back in our history and go back into the 90s, where we released albums like Bottom Line and Judgment Day and Nature of Evil, and bring the vibe and the spirit of those kind of songs into 2022 and make them sound more modern. But the influence was Sinner, our former albums.
Awesome. Well, the result is just absolutely amazing. Like I said, I've fallen in love with the album after only just a couple of listens to it, and I know we are running out of time very, very quickly. So I guess
It's all good. I have time. Okay. All good.
Awesome. So I guess I'll throw in a couple of extra questions then. First of all, you mentioned before about how much you love Melbourne and you love Sydney. Would you guys consider coming back here for a tour if that opportunity arose?
Yeah, for sure. Like the fun part on this is that we did an European tour, then we did an America tour, then we flew from Toronto to Tokyo. And then everybody said, hello, now we're in Japan. And when you're in Japan, you can go to Australia as well. And they were like, okay, Japan, Australia, okay, a small step. So then I found out that flying from Japan to Australia is, the distance is larger than flying from Germany to America. So it's like, why are we doing this? But it's fun to play in Australia because I love Australia and it's great to be there. I love Melbourne. It's like, yeah, it's great. So we have this street with all those AC/DC and Judas Priest paintings.
Yep.
And all the stuff. You have this English pubs. That was really amazing. And I was happy to be at the Opera House in Sydney. You know, like you always see the Opera House on pictures. And now I was there 2 times, and I got paid for it because I played live there. So everybody has to pay the flight and all the stuff, and I got paid. And I was so lucky to be there because it was always a dream for me to be in Australia. And I hope when we are able to tour again that we will do Japan as well, and then probably I hope that we will find the promoters to book us a couple of shows in Australia. That would be awesome.
We talked before about the closeness of the band and the brotherhood of the band. Is that one of the fun things about that brotherhood, being able to travel around the world and explore cities together?
Yeah, because like we're not being connected music-wise. We spend our time not only on stage, we are spending a lot of time off stages. And, you know, we hang out together in our spare time often because we love the same football club and we do barbecue and we're having a beers and we're having a talk. We talk on the phone, we talk on video calls and so, and yeah, it's a lot of fun because when you like or love each other, then it's much easier to travel because we have the same ideas and we have the same thoughts and we have the same kind of fun, and it's a blessing to be with this band, to be honest.
Definitely. All right, I'll finish with this question. So the album is coming out in 2 weeks' time. How do you feel now that the album is about to come out? Are you nervous or are you excited? And what would you like to say to all of your Aussie fans before the album comes out?
So, like, I think it's the 18th release of Sinner, and I do not know on how many releases I was involved. Prime Fear released also a lot of albums, so I'm not really nervous anymore. It's like more excitement to because we did I think we did a good work and we put a lot of sweat and heart in it. And yeah, I hope that the fans will love the album, and I hope they will be excited and not disappointed. But I think we did a good album and a strong album. And yeah, and to all the fans out there, stay safe, sane, and celebrate life. Listen to our albums, listen to the lyrics, and yeah, stay positive.